The Jedi were so certain, so confident that they had the answers, that they understood the will of the Force. They spoke of a prophecy, a chosen one destined to bring balance, yet they never truly questioned what that meant. Did they ever stop to think about the words they were repeating, or did they just cling to the idea because it gave them something to believe in, something to justify their existence? Prophecies are dangerous. They blind people with the illusion of destiny, making them believe they are following a path when they are really just chasing shadows. The Jedi placed all their faith in words written by those who had long since turned to dust. They ignored the contradictions, the flaws, the uncertainty. They never considered the possibility that the Chosen One was not real. Or worse, that they had found the wrong person. Anakin Skywalker, the boy they claimed would bring balance, yet he became the very thing they feared. If he was their savior, then why did his existence lead to ruin? Why did the Republic fall? Why did the Sith take control? Why did an empire rise from the ashes of everything the Jedi sought to protect? How does any of that resemble balance? The Jedi were so blinded by their prophecy that they ignored the reality staring them in the face. And if it was not Anakin, then who? Luke, Rey. Every generation brings another person who is called the Chosen One, yet the Force remains in conflict. The same battles rage on. The same darkness rises to meet the light. The same mistakes are made. If the Force was ever meant to be balanced, then why does it continue to shift so violently? Maybe the problem was never with the Chosen One. Maybe the problem was with the idea itself. In this video, we are going to take a deep look at why the Chosen One prophecy just does not make sense, why it was never as clear as the Jedi believed, and why the very concept of a Chosen One might have doomed the galaxy from the very beginning. The Jedi spoke of a prophecy, a promise that one day, a Chosen One would bring balance to the Force. But what does that even mean? Did the Jedi ever stop to think about how vague that was? A prophecy should be clear, precise, something that leaves no room for doubt, something that cannot be misinterpreted, yet this one could be twisted in any direction. Instead, they followed the words blindly, assuming they understood them. Balance sounds like a good thing, right? But if there is light, then there must be darkness. To truly balance the Force, both sides would need to exist equally, which contradicts everything the Jedi stood for. They did not want balance. They wanted dominance. They wanted their way to be the only way. The Jedi believed the dark side had to be destroyed. So why would they wait for someone destined to bring balance, when their whole philosophy revolved around eliminating half of that balance? Did they really think that through? Or did they just hear what they wanted to hear? Was the prophecy ever truly understood? Or did the Jedi twist its meaning to fit their own desires? Every time they spoke of the prophecy, it was with absolute certainty. But the Force is not predictable. It does not follow a single path or bow to a prophecy written by beings who can barely understand it. Maybe the Chosen One never existed. Maybe the prophecy was never meant to be fulfilled. Or maybe it was never real in the first place. Anakin Skywalker, a slave child from Tatooine with no father, strong in the Force, and bursting with potential. But what exactly made him the Chosen One? The Force works in mysterious ways, but the Jedi seemed too eager to believe this was their answer. Desperation led them to grasp at straws, and Qui-Gon Jinn saw what he wanted to see. Qui-Gon believed in Anakin more than anyone, but belief is not proof. Midichlorians, destiny, the will of the Force. None of those things confirmed that Anakin was the one from the prophecy. They were assumptions built on more assumptions. And in their desperation, the Jedi ignored every warning sign. He was too old. He was too emotional. He had attachments. The very things they preached against, yet they made an exception. They forced him into a role he never asked for, never even understood. How could they expect him to live up to it? He was trained with the weight of the galaxy on his shoulders, but he was never given the guidance he needed. They feared him, yet they expected him to follow blindly. How could that end well? Was he even meant to? Maybe Anakin was never the Chosen One. Maybe he was just a talented boy, caught in the Jedi's obsession with a prophecy that was never real. A prophecy they twisted to fit their own narrative. And in doing so, they created their own worst nightmare. If Anakin was truly the Chosen One, then why did Luke have to be the one to stop the Empire? Why did he have to face Vader, bring him back from the darkness, and defeat the Emperor? Was that not the Chosen One's responsibility? The Jedi believed Anakin would bring balance, yet his actions destroyed everything. The Republic fell, the Sith ruled, and the galaxy was plunged into darkness. But Luke, the son of Anakin, was the one who ultimately set things right. That should mean something. It should change everything. Obi-Wan and Yoda put their hopes in Luke, not Anakin. They trained him, guided him, and prepared him for a battle that should not have been his. If balance was restored, then it was because of Luke's choices, not because of a prophecy written ages ago. And if Luke was the one who truly made the difference, then where does that leave the prophecy? So was Anakin the Chosen One? Or was Luke? And if Luke was, then that means the Jedi had it wrong all along. How could they be so wise, yet so blind? How could they place their faith in a prophecy that had no real meaning? Balance, a word the Jedi seemed to misunderstand. If balance means equal light and dark, then wiping out the Sith would do the exact opposite. So why did they believe a chosen one would destroy the Sith instead of letting them exist? The Sith followed their own rules, driven by power and ambition. But were they truly unnatural, or were they just another side of the Force? The Jedi acted as if their way was the only way, but that is not balance. That is control. It is the same arrogance that led to their downfall. Every time the Jedi gained power, the Sith rose to challenge them. When the Sith were wiped out, the Jedi became arrogant, blinded by their own perceived wisdom. The Force corrected itself, over and over again. That cycle never truly broke. No matter how many wars were fought, no matter how many lives were lost, the Force always shifted back. If balance was ever achieved, it was never meant to last. The Force is not static, it is always shifting. No chosen one could change that. No single person could rewrite the nature of the Force. And yet, the Jedi thought they could control it. Maybe the prophecy was never about a single person. Maybe it was an idea, a way of thinking, something that could apply to anyone. The Jedi wanted a savior, a figure to guide them. But they never considered that balance comes from the choices of many, not the destiny of one. Anakin did not bring balance. He fell into darkness and took the galaxy with him. Luke did not bring balance. He won a war, but left the Force open to future conflicts. Rey did not bring balance either. The Force did not settle after her victory. It never does, and it never will. Every generation believes they have found the chosen one, yet the Force remains unpredictable. If balance could be achieved so easily, then why does history keep repeating itself? The Jedi never questioned if the prophecy was even real. They never asked if they were simply chasing a fantasy. They never asked if it was just a story, a legend made to give them purpose. A prophecy so vague, it could fit anyone and still mean nothing. And in the end, that is exactly what it became. In the end, the chosen one was not a person, it was a myth. A story the Jedi clung to, hoping it would justify their beliefs. But the Force does not work that way. It never did. If Anakin was meant to bring balance, then he failed. If Luke was meant to bring balance, then why did conflict return? If Rey was meant to bring balance, then why does the Force still feel unfinished? The prophecy promised an ending, yet the story never truly ends. Maybe balance was never the goal. Maybe the Force was never meant to be controlled. The Jedi and Sith both tried, yet neither succeeded. The cycle continues. And it will always continue. And if that cycle never ends, then maybe there was never a chosen one to begin with. Maybe the Force was never looking for one. Maybe the Jedi were just looking for something to believe in, something to hold on to, even if it was never real.